ever had one of those moments where your mind just went black? Maybe you were sitting quietly or walking alone, and suddenly everything felt empty inside. No thoughts, no noise, just silence. And then, almost immediately, a doubt crept in. Wait, am I losing it or am I becoming foolish? I remember going through this myself once. I was so used to having a head full of thoughts, worries, and plans that when silence finally came, it felt strange, even scary. I wondered if I am not constantly thinking, then who am I? Does this mean something is wrong with me? But what if this isn't wrong at all? What if this emptiness is actually pointing us towards something far deeper than constant thinking ever could? Here is the real question. Could the very thing we fear, being called a fool, actually be a hidden doorway to a greater clarity, freedom, and wisdom? Stay with me till the very end of this video because this might completely change the way you see your mind, even yourself.
See, when somebody else calls you a fool, it's an insult. When you realize you're a fool, that means you become smart enough to know that. So I did not call you a fool, I only agreed with you. This happened to me also. Before all this happened, I was very smart, very smart. So I thought, and so everybody around me also supported it. I definitely thought so. All others around me also supported this. He's very smart. And the activity that I was performing at that time and the results that it produced also proved that I was very smart. But one day, I went up a small hill and I realized I was an utter fool. Since then, everything has been fantastic. Yes. So be a fool, it's a damn good thing. If you're a damn fool, it's a damn good thing. But don't tell anybody like this. Because socially you still have to live. You don't go about telling everybody, I'm a fool. You know you're a fool, everybody thinks you're smart, that's a good thing. But you tell everybody you're a fool, that's not a good thing. So, there are different ways to look at this. If something bigger than yourself happens to you, something way bigger than yourself happens to you, then naturally you feel like a damn fool. Nothing happened to you, you are the biggest thing in the universe. You think you're smart, but you are a bloody fool. That's a big difference. We can even say this in other terms, but let me not go there. I want you to understand that there are no too many problems with you. Hello? You think you're complicated because you like to be complicated. Because if you're simple, you feel like a fool. Yes So you're complicating yourself just to avoid seeing that you're a bloody fool. Your problem is not very existential, it's more maintenance. Certain things are not opening up. This happened. Shankaran Pillai checked into a hotel along with his wife. At 11:30 in the night, he called the reception and he said, "My wife is threatening to jump out of the window from the fifth floor." The reception said, Sir, this is a personal matter. I cannot intervene in this. And above all, I'm the only night staff who is here. So you need to deal with it yourself. This is a personal matter. Except for me and one maintenance staff, there is nobody in the hotel, we cannot assist you in any way. You need to deal with it yourself, it is your personal stuff. Shankaran Pillai roared, "You idiot! You think I will ask you to come and handle my personal matters? I am talking about a maintenance issue only. The damn window is not opening." So, your problem is just that, the window is not opening. There's no other problem, just maintenance issues. Because you think you're too smart, it's too stuffed up. If you feel like an empty fool, it'll open up. If you're joyful by your own nature, you do not have to prove you're better than anyone else. You're fine the way you are. This is one thing that every human being should settle, that you're joyful by your own nature, not because of what is around you or who is around you, but you're joyful by your own nature. You will notice the moment you're joyful by your own nature, suddenly your body, your brains, your everything works well. And above all, the stress of existence is gone from you. There is a certain relaxation and an opening within you which unfolds your genius in many different ways. And above all, you have no pressure. And you have no peer pressure, you have no FOMO because you're joyful, you don't think you're missing anything. Only miserable people can have the fear of missing something. Here I'm driving a car which is nearly 50 years old. Well, can fall apart. So can I, I'm older than the car, of course. So, it doesn't matter what stage of life we are in, what we can do, what we cannot do. If you're joyful by your own nature, you're living freely. This is very important too. Please, let's make it happen for yourself and everyone in this world.
Sometimes listening to ideas like this can stir something deep inside us. It may leave us with more questions than answers. And that's okay, because life was never meant to lived by rushing from answers to answers. It was made to experienced slowly, gently, and with awareness. If right now your mind feels a little quieter than before, just take a moment to notice that. Notice your breath moving in and out, the rhythm of life flowing through you without any effort. Notice that even when you stop trying to figure everything out, life still goes on beautifully, moment by moment. So often we spend our days trying to prove something to ourselves, to others, to the world. But maybe it's okay to just pause. Maybe it's okay to just sit with yourself without judgment, without levels, without the constant push to be more than what you already are. You see, these are kind of peace that comes when we stop wrestling with our thoughts. A stillness that arrive when we stop asking, am I enough? Or do I look foolish? And instead just rest in the simple truth that we are here breathing alive right now. You don't need to fix yourself, you don't need to solve all your problems at once, you don't need to fully understand everything you heard. All you do is allow yourself to feel this moment completely without resistance. Life has its own way of revealing things to us when we are ready, and sometimes, and the greatest steps forward we take is simply to stop running, to slow down, and to allow silence to guide us for a while. So carry this moment with you into your rest of your day. I invite you to hold it gently, like you would hold a fragile flower. Let it remind you that you don't always have to push, you don't always have to prove. Sometimes you can simply be, and in that space of simply being, clarity, freedom, and even joy begins to bloom on their own. As always, to remember, this is not a summary of Sadhguru's word, it is simply my interpretation of the deep wisdom he imparted. Kindly keep them separated and do not misunderstand. Thank you for joining, and we will see you tomorrow. Until then, please take care. Namaskaram.
चंद्रचूड़ शिव शंकर पार्वती रमणा निनगे नमो नमो।